Welcome to the Fit Affiliate podcast, hosted by Tony Ronke and Lisa Hetherington, where we talk about behaviours and behaviour-based conversations as they apply to affiliate owners and coaches. And welcome back to another episode of the Fit Affiliate podcast. So I'm very excited to have Ray from CrossFit XRay all the way in Taiwan to sit down and have a chat with us today. How are you, Ray?
Doing good. Doing
Doing
good.
good?
How are you? Yeah.
I'm excellent, mate. And I'm so glad I finally managed to drag you onto the podcast. I know we've talked about it lots, but we finally
Yes.
got you here. So that's a good thing. Maybe you can start out by, letting everyone know about how you found CrossFit.
Okay. First I found CrossFit was when I was in the States, when I studied abroad in Florida, and
Mhm.
I was in Tampa, Florida, and it was 2014, I guess. Um, First I was first introduced by my friends, one of my Taiwanese friends. Uh, And when I stepped into the CrossFit gym, and mm, after training with the CrossFit couple days, um, feel still a little like skeptical about it. Uh, at that time when I started it, my goal was to use the CrossFit to support my uh, performance on the sports.
Mhm.
I was playing basketball at that time. Like me and my Taiwanese friends would go to the basketball court and play. And so first couple of days, little skeptical because everything was new, and then it's very unlike it's all of the movements that I learned are were not very uh, traditional, like
Mhm.
things that I know that we would do at the regular gym. So I was a
Yep.
little skeptical about that. But after a couple weeks, up to maybe 2 to 3 months, I started see the gain, um, not just on my performance on the sports. I can easily see the increase of my speed, my strength, my agility, and yeah, and I started seeing a change in my body physique. So I started I started to see the change on me personally, and then it started to graduate to move on to my surroundings.
Mhm.
Um,
That's great.
yeah, and because when I was in Florida, uh, I was studying MBA for my master, and because all of my classmates, they were like, they've already had the jobs and everything, and so when they went to the classes, they've already it's either like nighttime classes. They've all like tired out from the work, and then went to the class, and they just want to go back home. So we didn't really have time to kind of just like uh, to know the classmates. So I didn't really have a chance to um, talk to the local people and then spend time with them and just like hang out um, outside of class time. So the CrossFit gym, the first CrossFit gym that I joined, really gave me the opportunity to uh, met all of the amazing friends that I had when I was in the States. So it kind of
That's
just like
cool.
affects how I my lifestyle over there, and start
Mhm.
hanging out with them, and then it's all like positive thinking. Everybody is just like, hey, um, just trying to get fit, trying to get healthy, and then when we were together, like we had such a fun time together when we hang out.
Yep.
So that
Nice.
was a very good moments, like probably one of the best times in my life.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So what led you then to decide that once you were back home in Taiwan to open up an affiliate?
That's a very good question. So, yeah, so I start seeing the gain on myself, and I start seeing again on my surroundings, and then I started thinking about like maybe I should go, I should go take my level one, and yeah. So at that time, my head coach back then, my head coach was kind of he's very like very positive guy, and then he's very encouraging. So at that time when I had this idea, he's the one who like always like back me up, like you should do this,
Mm,
like you can crush it.
that's cool.
So yeah, coming from the Asian, like coming back from a Asian culture, like um I wasn't that confident myself to do anything that's outside of the like academic subjects from school.
Hmm.
And then so that was my first try. Like I tried really hard. I studied every day for the level one trainer guide. And then yeah, uh finally got my level one, and I was very happy about it. And after I got my level one, my head coach even gave he gave me the opportunity to coach the class. And I was like, a Taiwanese guy coaching all American like in
Yeah.
fitness class, and especially it's a group class. So
Mm.
not only I had to teach these people in the correct form, but I have to teach them in English, which are were the very two of the major things that I think was very challenging.
Yeah.
But eventually I I did it, and it was fun, and that's how I became a CrossFit coach.
Hmm.
Then after that, I think is when the time was getting close to my graduation, and then I have to plan out like whether I should come back or I should stay in the States and then kind of just like find a job. Um, that moment, at that time period, I kind of started thinking like, hey, what if I bring this awesome fitness training method back to Taiwan and then share it with my Taiwanese people? That
Mm.
would be great because, yeah. Um, so also my head coach was the one who encouraged the most, and also one of my best friends. Uh, they all like very supportive of my idea of
Hmm.
what I wanted to do like in the future, bringing
Yep.
the CrossFit this thing back to Taiwan, and then so everybody can benefit from it. So that's how
Mm.
I got into this CrossFit business. Yeah,
That's fantastic. And, you've got, if we look at your socials, you've got a really thriving community over there. Like, always see
thank you
lots
very much.
of cool stuff of people smiling when they work out and being involved. And I know through working with you, you know, the different initiatives you've had. So you really are making a big difference. And I remember when we first started working together, when you came on board with Fitfiliate, that we talked through a lot of the cultural differences in Taiwan versus like me in Australia and others in the States and other parts of the world where exercise and training is not really part of the culture over there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So
And how that's a bit of a challenge for you, I guess, in trying to market, "Come and do this thing," when, working out is not a natural thing that they do.
oh yeah. So it's a very big differences on fitness in not I believe it's not just in Taiwan but in most of the Asian countries. Uh, I would say because it'll there are several reasons what makes a big difference on the fitness, like how people look at fitness in Asian countries and like in Western countries. Um, One thing that we have to look at is the educational background,
Mm,
because the educational background, when we were kids, when we were at school, we don't really have that much of support, like very positive and uh, education system and program to lead us to believe like fitness can be a thing in the future.
mm,
Like sometimes when it comes like when it was a rainy day or when an exam like a big exam was coming up, fitness like our PE class was always the first one who got like they have to
cancelled.
like replace it and
Mhm,
then yeah. So and also like when we were in the PE class, it's not just like teach us how to move and everything. It's and there's not even like weight training related involved
mm.
in our PE class. It's always like, hey, you do what you want to do, and go play basketball with your classmates, and then like, and you see the girls will like sitting under the tree and then trying to get some trying to just like take a break from the class.
Yep.
So, like, our school is focus is mostly on the academic performance instead of
Mhm.
uh, like physical body, that kind of
Mhm.
exercise performance.
Yep.
So after like under 9 to 12 years of that kind of education, people kind of just don't think that fitness can be
Mm.
related to everything.
So
So that's
how
one thing.
how do you go about, you're trying to grow clearly for the gym to grow, you need members. How do you go about, you know, talking to people about how important fitness is for them and, trying to, encourage them to come through your doors?
Whew, that is that's a very challenging task in Taiwan because, like I said, even just like we just talked about one major thing that people wouldn't do fitness. Like people are
Mm,
less eager to do fitness in Taiwan is educational background. So back in the gym when we were trying to not trying to convince them or persuade them, it's like trying to make them realize like how important the fitness is in their life.
mm,
So it took a lot more effort than you would have done the same if you would have done the same thing in a Western country. You probably they will like just join a gym and everything.
mm,
But um, yeah, it was very hard to um, try to get people into fitness in Taiwan because people are still have the mindset of exercising is just like go mountain hiking or like
mm.
dancing in the park. You
Yep.
see that all the time here, and so
And
and
plus
then
it's not
he's
just regular fitness, it's, CrossFit, which is a whole heap of other
yeah,
elements that they have not been exposed to as well. So you've got kind of like the double whammy there. It's like not
oh
just
yeah,
exercising, but hey, we're gonna climb ropes and use barbells and, do
yeah.
all.
So uh, when we talk to people that still don't have that kind of mindset, um, usually people just they will like at first if they really join the gym at the like in the at the end, like first when they see us how we train, they'll freak out. They'll be like, "Oh man, you lift so much weight. I
Mm,
don't want to lift so much weight. Like, oh, you climb all around. That's too dangerous."
mm,
So like people are more cautious here than um wanting to like just taking a leap, willing to try
yep,
um uh things. So
yep,
definitely it's harder to try to get people into a fitness gym, especially CrossFit gym here
yep.
than
How many
anywhere
CrossFit
else.
gyms are there in Taiwan at the moment? Do you know off the top of your
I
head?
believe probably roughly about 10, I guess.
10. And you're,
Yeah.
we think,
I
the only level 3 coach in Taiwan?
What's that?
Are you the only level 3, CrossFit level 3 coach?
I'm not the only one. I
Not the
was the
only one now.
second one who got it. I was the second
Yeah,
one who
nice.
got it. Yeah, and
Yep.
I think there are 3 level 3
Okay.
coaches
Yep.
here. Yeah.
Okay, great. So,
But I'm the only one who has level 3 and I own a gym
yeah,
and also affiliate owner. So,
yeah, that you got the full house. So,
yeah.
here you are in Taiwan, you're working your way at this affiliate, you're changing people's lives, not just physically, but culturally as well, and getting past all of that. What led you to look at things and think, "Oh, I need a coach of my own, or I need a business mentor," or how did that sort of decision come about for you?
Okay. Yeah, so when I first started my gym and it all like people started at CrossFit gym. I believe most of people um started their own gym uh all based on the passion of like how they love about like doing CrossFit and everything, and then start
Mhm,
being a coach and then start thinking about owning a gym. So there isn't really like uh any business related concept or ideas when I started my own gym.
mhm.
I just love it, and then I think I first thought like if I'd open it, I can do CrossFit every day by my own gym. How like how fun it would be, how awesome it would be
You're
until
not
I
the only one
open
that
it,
thinks that.
and yeah. So that was the initial very shallow idea of like opening up a CrossFit gym. But when you
Yeah,
open
nice.
it, it's not like that. So,
No, there's a lot of things to worry about that you don't really think
oh
of
yeah, for
until you
sure.
open it.
Like,
Yep.
so for the first 2 to 3 years, and didn't really have that much of business concept and like put a lot of business ideas into really like my gym, and
Mhm,
also even though I just mentioned that I come from the background of I have a master degree of MBA, but still struggle with the business, which is pretty a little bit ironic. But like when you start thinking about one thing, I used to have a hard time to like um, try to put things together. So
mhm,
when I try to do CrossFit, I didn't think of like how can I utilize of things what I learned and then
mm,
putting to my gym. So first couple of 2 years it was okay, and then when it comes to the third year, uh, it was a real struggle for me to kind of wanting to increase the numbers of member in my gym,
mhm,
and uh, I think mostly when I started to realize my like financial wise, I was really
mm.
struggle.
Yep.
And I didn't want to just like open up the gym just to survive. I wanted to
Mhm,
open up the gym that can uh, make money to kind of get me out of like not get me out, but like
mm.
um,
Support you.
to pursue that, to support me, my life, my freedom, and everything. And
Mhm,
also like more revenue means more people in my gym. More people in my gym means I get to save that number of people in my gym to help them to
mm,
get better. And so it was a real struggle when I was on the third year, and then I started seeking out all kinds of different methods. And
mhm,
back at the time, CrossFit hasn't they haven't started their like marketing tool. They didn't
mhm.
have that kind
The
of
playbook.
uh yeah, the playbook and everything. So I had to seek out, like I started looking at the business mentorship, and it's like especially for affiliate owners.
Mm-hmm.
And first, I contacted with the two brand business, and
Yep.
they did show me a few tricks before we really got into the program. But
Mm.
so I tried the tricks from them, but it was like it didn't quite fit
Mm.
because the things that they told me is try to how to package my members like membership rates
Mm.
and everything, but that didn't uh that didn't went well.
Yep.
So I was kind of frustrated, and then I started looking again like of a business mentorship, and then I found Fit Affiliate, and then first was Chuck and Tony, and then it really opened up my mind, and then really took me to the world that I've never seen, like the business
Mm-hmm.
world. So at first, it was kind of overwhelming when you guys did that diagnostic phase when you're
Yep.
trying to like yeah. So for your client, so uh, many of the questions that I during that diagnostic phase was like I couldn't answer all of the questions,
Mm.
even like just the half of the questions like right. I couldn't get them right.
Mm.
So and then that's kind of how I started it to get into a business mentor to kind of help my gym thrive because I
Yep.
was struggle financially big time.
Yeah. And that's how many affiliate owners sort of find their way to us. And trust me, when I filled out the diagnostic form, I couldn't answer half of them either. So you're not alone. I think
Yeah.
it's just about everyone who comes through the door, because they're things that, like you said, we opened a gym because we're passionate about saving lives, and you kind of think all these other things will catch up as you go. They're not really high priority. Um,
hmm
and in Taiwan, like, you've said you used another sort of company which just gives you a template basically for how to do things. But in Taiwan, there's a lot of cultural differences that we sort of
Yeah.
worked around. For example, it's only recently that you've been using like a auto pay direct debit system, because that's not usually how people pay for things, even a
hmm
recurring thing over there. So that was a big change, to do. So using a template or cookie cutter approach really doesn't apply, or translate very well to gyms like yours, does it? Because you've got to take into account a lot of the cultural aspects. Now, I know when you started working with Fitfiliate, you're on your second go round now, because you did have a little detour to go and focus on
To
your
pursue
level
my
three.
level three. Yeah.
But you found your way back again, because you're like, okay, I've done that, I've achieved that goal. Now I need to refocus on the business. Because what was the lesson that you found when you went off pursuing L3? What happened to the business stuff that was sort of ticking along?
Well, kind of just I s- I kind of just like left it behind and then started
Mm.
my own personal goal. And I think um getting to level three would solve the problem. Just don't get me wrong. I still that's my personal goal. So no
Mm.
matter what, I'm still gonna pursue it. Um but I at that time I felt like getting to level three would help my like on the business side would like help me
Mm.
also, but it wasn't the case.
No.
That wasn't
Funny.
that was like that didn't change everything, anything,
No.
anything at all
Well,
in my gym.
having all funny that, but I think that translates everywhere as well, because, you know, it would be a harder mountain to climb in Taiwan to get someone to understand the value of, hey, I'm a level 3 coach, you should join my gym,
Yeah,
because they don't even really know what this CrossFit thing is and the rest of it. But also,
really.
for other
Mhm.
coaches, you can have your qualifications, but someone new coming in has no idea what that means. They don't even, you
That's
know, like in the 7.5 years I ran my affiliate, I don't think I ever had one person ask to see my certificate, like even my level 1. It's like, oh, Okay, it just matters to me. But and it's also important though that we have those personal goals, but then how we balance that was still keeping track of the, the important
Yeah.
things with the
Yes.
business. What's one of the biggest learnings you've had through the process of working with, a coach and a mentor is, what's one of the biggest lessons that you've got out of that um in your journey through?
Take action.
Take action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of me, I used to like think a lot and I had a lot of ideas, but it's hard for me. It was hard for me. I just like, I didn't know what happened. It just really, it was hard for me to put into practice of like based on what I have in mind. So,
Mm,
so when I started the the mentorship program with you, um, the first thing that I learned and the most important thing that I learned is if you have anything that comes up your mind, take action first.
mm.
And
Yep.
then like it's especially when you don't have the experience of anything, you gotta start trying. You
Mm.
gotta try until you
Like,
fail. And then you have when you start to gain those experience and then you know like which doesn't work and which works. So you
mm,
won't just take after that, you won't just take action and keep taking action and you keep making the same mistakes. So that's
yep.
one of the biggest things that I learned from the from affiliate and really
Yeah,
helped me.
and as Chuck and Tony will always say, or Chuck in particular, move faster than fear. The longer you think about something, the scarier it gets, and the least likely
Yeah.
you are to go ahead with it.
Yes, because then you will start thinking like, what if I do this and people don't like it? What if I do that and people don't like it? But
Mm,
also like, and there's another thing that I can be like, I used to be very like, um, I was like floated in the decision making. I wasn't able to make a very firm decision like making a
mhm,
decision. But now I can is because like how you guys teach us, um, when you have like, when you have a concern or question back to your mind, like in your mind, and back to why your gym should exist in this
mm,
society, in this world. Like, what's your goal? Like, what's your mission? What's your core
mm,
for your gym? So
yep,
if I pull everything back to that thing, and then um, anything that I wanted to do, like even just like activities, events, any kinds of things that I want to do for my gym, when I pull them back and put them together, based on the point of like, is this the mission? Is this align with my mission? Is does this align with my core values?
mhm,
And if they do, everything makes sense. I would just do it.
yep. And
So
it's good to be able to have that filter to run things through because quite often as affiliate owners, we think, oh, I've got a problem with retention. I'll go and buy a new Echo bike. That'll solve the problem. Or I'll buy, some new rowers or some new barbells. And it
yeah.
distracts us from working through, some of the difficult, tricky stuff.
Hmm.
Um, how would you say in the time that you've been, an affiliate owner, how have you evolved as a leader and helping, managing your coaches and developing your coaches? Has that changed from when you first opened to like how you are now?
Oh yeah, like big time. Everything changed big time. Yeah. So on the coaching, like my coaches and my staff, um, like I said, because when I first started my gym, um, I couldn't find any like purpose. I couldn't find a purpose for my gym. I couldn't find direction for my gym.
Mhm.
So there wasn't a clear um, position of where my gym should go.
Yep.
Also, until I found you guys, and then you guys gradually teach me how to not teach, like guide me through uh all this process, and then uh so I now turn into a, like, I used to not have a operation system for my gym, and then without an operation system, it's how to do your daily task, and also like setting up expectations and then policies, and how to be a successful staff in my
Mhm.
gym. I didn't have none of that. So
Mm.
it was a real struggle, not just for me, and also for the staff that I used to have and coaches that I
Mhm.
used to have. So all of those things together, it wasn't, and it's hard for me to try to build a good team in my gym to
Mm.
help my gym to thrive.
Mm.
But then I learned how to I started to like really like write everything down in my operation system, and then use the operation system as guide to start leading my coach um do things differently, not do things still the same, but it, it started becoming like everything we do, it has a purpose behind it,
Mm.
versus like, oh, we just do this,
Mm.
and we couldn't find why are we doing this. So that makes a big difference.
And it also helps then if your team have clear expectations to know
It's
what's
true.
expected, because otherwise, if you're getting irritated with them because they haven't done X, Y, Z, but they're like, we
That
didn't
was
know
me
we
as
had to do
well.
that.
So
You a
also
grumpy
one
coach,
thing
Ray?
that I, yeah, grumpy affiliate owner. Well, like that's also one of the things that I appreciate you guys is the scorecard.
Mhm.
So every, like, we do the weekly meetings, and you will all go through the business scorecard with us.
Mhm.
So back in my gym, now I also, like, we have a weekly staff meeting, and then at the beginning part of our meeting, I always go through business scorecard with them. But other than that, it's a valuation thing. Like,
Mm.
how do you keep your coaching quality? How do you keep your gym quality on point and then on track every single day?
Mm.
It's all like comes from that
Yeah.
regularly evaluation process. So I
Yeah.
didn't have that as well until like I started to like build up and implement and really took an action about it to
Mm.
start evaluating my coach on when they're coaching classes, and evaluate them as a staff when they do daily tasks
Mhm.
and for our gym. So it really helped. Everything makes sense if you start doing those things.
Yeah, for sure, and it lets you build more meaningful relationships when you can sit down with
Oh
your
yeah,
coaches
sure.
and ask them like, "Well, what do you want?" Like this is, you know what I want for the gym and the purpose it's here for. We've shared our just cause and mission, but what do you want?
Yes.
Where does this fit for you? And really building that relationship, going, "Well, how can I help you get to where you want?" Makes the coaches more engaged and more inclined to, you know, jump in and be, active.
Yeah.
Mm. So,
So like there's a I would say sometimes even when I ask questions to those questions to my coaches, like how can I help you?
mm,
And then when they did have a question that throw back at me, and then sometimes I didn't know at the moment, I didn't know how to help them, so I
mm,
kind of start seeking out information like how I can help them.
mm.
But that's a good way. It's always a good way to kind of help them to feel like that they're part of the community, they're
Mm.
part of the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, without our coaches, we can't operate because we can't, as we've learnt the hard way, you can't do it all yourself. Um,
Yes. I
and
need a team. We all need a team.
we all need a team, and the closer we can be to that team and all moving in the one direction, the easier life will be.
Yes.
So, you've done an amazing job in being open and being prepared to change your mindset about things, take action, and really dig deep in some uncomfortable things because that's part of the
Right.
process and the journey.
Yes.
Um, and you've achieved some big things. What's ahead for the next year for you with CrossFit XRay? What are some big things that you're looking forward to? I know that you said you've got a gymnastics seminar that you're hosting.
Oh yeah. We finally contacted gymnastic, uh, like CrossFit specialty course, gymnastic course.
Mhm.
Uh, we're gonna be hosting the course in our gym in
Yep.
Taiwan in May, and we're
Nice.
also gonna have a CrossFit Level One course. We're gonna be hosting that in April in our gym as well. So,
That's
which is
awesome.
our those two big courses are the really like probably it's mm, a big project for us for
Yep.
this year. Hmm.
Yep. For sure, and that's something that's, really exciting and
Oh yeah.
opportunities like that don't come around every day.
Hmm.
And I know that personally you're looking to achieve your level 4 at some point this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
That's
but
also one of my personal goal in this year.
but what's your big exciting thing that's happening this year? The big thing for you, for Ray?
You mean on the business side? A big
Oh,
thing for me?
personally.
Oh,
Yeah,
personally, yeah, I'm getting married
getting
this year.
married. So
Yes.
that's super cool, and
We're also hosting two weddings.
2 weddings.
One's gonna be in Taiwan, the other one's gonna be in the States. So this year is gonna be busier than any of the
Mm.
years in the previous time. So
But all this hard work that you've put up until now with your operating system and developing your staff means you've got time now to be able to pursue that and give it the time and attention it needs to plan it and to take the time. You recently had a 10-day trip to the States,
oh
um,
yeah, no,
with your
lights 2 week. It was a
2 weeks.
2 week, 14 days. Yeah.
So you had that time to, and the gym kept going. Like, and I know that was a big step for you to leave the
Hmm.
baby behind. And we worked
Hmm.
through that. But, you know, all of that hard work, people think that, oh, building an operating system, it's so tedious. I just know how to do things. I'm going to do it. But if you're the only one that does things, that means you can't ever not be there.
Hmm. That's right.
Uh,
You
Yeah, it
gotta
makes
have
it.
your whole team to know like how to do things in the gym.
Mm,
Just like this is what I also learned from you from pre affiliate is uh you guys always make the things like into the worst cases scenario because when you guys teach us that you guys asking a question like what if you got hit by a bus and you had to you had to be sent to the hospital and stay there for a couple of days.
mm,
Yeah, so when I was asked by that question I didn't know what to say.
mm.
Yeah, but like I know like you all trying to get us to uh, make us to realize trying to get us to realize how the importance of like how the importance of having an operating system at your gym is you gotta work up for your gym to the point that it can run by itself.
Yeah,
Otherwise it's not business.
yeah. And it's got
Like
to,
yeah.
yeah, as long as it runs just around you, then it's always going to be limited in what it can do because there's only so much that you can do. And if
Yeah,
you can't be there for whatever reason, someone else needs to be able to at least open the doors and run a class.
and yeah, and also one of the things that I learned during this process mentoring program process is like the compassion.
Mm,
Really, like while I was out for 14 days, and then I know how important my staff were, and then by appreciating their hard work, I even bought like each one of them like a pair of like noble shoes because
wow.
it's hard to get it from Taiwan. So
Yeah.
I just took my opportunity, like to took my chance to bought the shoes in the States and then brought them back to Taiwan and then given my staff. And that's one thing I learned how to appreciate the things that they do, and everything we do at the gym is like compassion, really.
Yeah. And yeah, letting them know they're appreciated. I was talking to another affiliate owner this morning, and he was saying, we definitely don't tell our coaches enough or show them enough how much we appreciate them for what they do, and that's amazing that you could do that for your coaches, and that's super cool. I didn't know that until now. So
Oh yeah.
that's
Yes.
very cool, Ray.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for your time, Ray. We'll
Thank
end
you.
it on that note because that's a super high point, and I'm very excited to be part of your journey, and as we are affiliate with CrossFit XRay, so we're looking forward to seeing what the next 12 months lines up for you, and learning and growing and overcoming more challenges as you go.
My pleasure and my honor. It's always like, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.